Brenda, thank you. We are hearing from members of a member of Wilmington City Council now for the first time after spending a night in jail. We broke that news yesterday. The councilman Kevin Spears spent Monday night in jail on a criminal contempt charge. Judge Heath Nance made a ruling during a child support hearing in Columbus County. WECT's Emma Dolenmayer spoke with Spears after last night's city council meeting.
Councilman Spears made light of the situation when addressing it during the meeting, saying he had a busy morning. But after the meeting, he told me this is the reality of being a black man living in America. Councilman Spears addressed the incident at the end of the city council meeting. The criminal contempt order stated that Spears allegedly voiced irrelevant banter during the hearing. He asked what irrelevant banter means and to whom and how is any banter about a human's life irrelevant. Also, according to the order, Spears is accused of refusing to answer basic questions and delaying the court proceedings. The judge reportedly warned Spears about his behavior being improper and then found Spears in contempt and ordered him to jail for 24 hours.
But I want to thank Judge Heath Nance and the Columbus County Detention Center for helping me to shine a light on issues of jail overcrowding, clean and safe conditions for inmates and staff, better access to resources. Freedom of speech is not always free, and I'm a black man in America, so there's always a high probability that I could end up in jail. And that is not necessarily my issue, more so America's issue.
None of the other members of City Council said anything when Councilman Spears spoke about the incident during the meeting. Emma Dolenmayer, WECT News.